nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
All right, well, thank you, Teresa, so much for meeting with me.
Of course.
I really appreciate your time. Is this your first Geek Girl Con that you've ever been to?
No, I've been coming, I took a year off last year, but I've been coming since the first one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, so
back when it was like a little teensy con.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you see the line down the block? Yeah. It's gotten huge.
No, it's amazing, and I'm really happy that it's grown so much. Like, because it was in a hotel originally, and then it had to expand to here because so many people were interested. So.
Right. Yeah, like now, even from coming, I've only come for 2 years, and now with seeing how it's expanded, it wasn't like this was the top floor, and now there's like the exhibitors are all upstairs, which is incredible. So could you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
Well, I'm here in a couple of capacities. I am an assistant editor with the Mary Sue, which is a feminist pop culture website. I'm also a writer. The reason why I moved to LA was that I want to write for television. So I'm the writer of your future favorite TV show. And I'm here because I'm doing a panel here at Geek Girl Con for a show called Incredible Girl, which we're trying to, we're producing right now the pilot episode. And we've been working on it for several years now. We have a panel here called Incredible Girl Presents Geeks and Kink. So I'm a writer by trade, and then I write for whoever will pay me to do it.
So did Geek Girl Con reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
No, I reached out to them, and they, it's funny because I talked to Marina, who's the programming director here, and she just said to me, the second I saw the title of your panel, I was like, what? And she was like, no, we needed to have you here because the crossover is so obvious. And it is, like, it might not be obvious to somebody who's not a geek, but to geeks, it's like the crossover's clear.
Right.
And actually my co-creator, Aurora Blas, she's not a geek. Like and so at first, when I started proposing that we go to Comic-Cons, she was like, why? And I was like, trust me. The crossover is there. Like, you don't even understand. Just let me handle it.
Yeah.
And she's been so surprised. Like, at Emerald City, we did this panel, and it was standing room only in the room we're in.
I'm not surprised.
And she was like, whoa, I was not expecting that reaction at all. Like, and they kept us afterwards, too. Like, you know, people were, like, stopping to talk to us in the, you know, in the hallway outside the room. Hello. Speak of the devil.
Hi.
Here she is.
Hi. How are you? All right, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi. Excuse me, I'm eating. I'm Celia, Aurora de Blas, and I am one of the creators of Incredible Girl.
Fantastic. So, what do you think about talking about sex in the geek community? Do you think that it's important that we have these conversations, or are they just sort of like something on the side that we can talk about, or should we be having these conversations?
I mean, definitely. I think that especially now with the discussions about consent, it's important to kind of revisit conversations about sex because, especially, one of the reasons why we were talking before about bringing the Geeks and Kink panel to a convention like this. One of the things that I love most about the kink community is that it's all about communication. It's all about negotiation. It's all about that stuff. And so, even people who are like more vanilla or, you know, geeks getting crazy at a you know, convention could learn something from that community about how to express, you know, what they want and need, and also to listen to other people and what, you know. So yeah, it's always important to kind of, even if it's stuff you know, to kind of recheck in and be like, okay, what's been updated? Like, like how are people doing this now?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you think that nerds go at sex differently than like normal people, quote unquote?
The normies.
The muggles.
The muggles.
Do you think that geeks approach sexuality in a different way?
I do, in the sense that, like, and it's funny because I've talked about this topic a lot in the past couple of years. So, there's this school of thought that, like, you know, because geeks like are traditionally thought of as not being as social, they're more socially awkward and whatever. So like the same reasons why they like fantasy and sci-fi, like they like to imagine, they like to like extrapolate stuff, that translates to their sex life. So like one of the reasons why, you know, more geeks are into kink is because like you know, it's not just sex. It's like, what else can I do? How far can I stretch this? Where, you know,
Role
you
playing,
know.
dragon.
Exactly, bad dragon.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I'm not gonna say how, but I do know what you're talking about.
Bad dragon. Go find it.
Yeah, no, it's a great company.
Yeah.
And but I also think that like because geeks are kind of used to being marginalized too, their approach to sex is more welcoming and inclusive of different approaches, different ways to do things and stuff. And they're more like, they're more game to try new things. I think. Because I have a lot of vanilla friends who, like, you know, you mention something like spanking, and they're like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, simmer down. Until you've tried it, you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So could we talk a little bit more about your series, about Incredible Girl and how it happened?
Definitely.
Yeah, so a few years ago, I created a short film called Incredible Girl, and it was about a sort of innocent young woman who wandered into a sexually charged club, gets hit on by the club diva, and it ends at that point, but it sort of left us in a place where something else could happen, like a bigger story could happen. So I thought to myself, well, if I found the right person, I'd expand the story. And then I met Teresa, and we connected, and we've been working on the project for almost 3.5 years.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Like always for a series, or did it start as being like a movie?
It's always been a series.
Yeah.
So it started from the short film, but then we morphed it into a series.
Yeah, and it started as like a more typical web series where it's like short episodes. Originally I wrote like 10 short episodes, and then we were like, no, but this is too big. We need to like aim high, you know, because this is something that I think actual television needs. It's not just for the web, it's like, you know. So we rewrote it. And
that was last year.
Yeah.
That wasn't very long ago.
It wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
But we realized this needs to be an actual show, and so we created a half-hour pilot, which is what we're going to talk about at our panel, is us working on that. Because we see this as like something that could be on a Hulu or on an Amazon or something. Like it's that level of thing, and it's like time for television to embrace. We're already seeing like bits and pieces of like kink popping up on different TV shows, but it's never the focus. It's always like a random plot point and then they move on, but like this community hasn't been given attention, so.
Yeah, and the way we're approaching it is so that we really want it to be accessible, because part of, you know, the point of the show is to sort of break down the stigmas or the stereotypes that a lot of people who know nothing about it have, which is typically pretty negative. You know, like, even just if I think of my own family members and like, you know, their reactions when I say, hey, I'm doing this show, I'm creating this thing, they're like, what? That's for weird people, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, why is it weird? Like, because you're not into it? It's for people who are mentally, like, deranged. And I'm like, no. Am I mentally deranged? I'm here, right? I mean, maybe I am. Maybe I'm crazy. Like, Sarah is really, she's, at least for me,
she's our main character.
She's our main character and protagonist. She's, even if the story isn't exactly the same in terms of, like, specifics, like the kind of change and the kind of like grabbing hold of what's important to her is what I can relate with, and I think what probably you relate with too, and which is why we've connected, because it's like, oh, this thing of like wanting more than what you have in your life and knowing that it's possible and just going for it is like is the story of us, and I think of everybody.
Yeah, that's really great though.
It's similar to us.
Right.
I mean,
no, totally, and even, you know, and we definitely hope that you know, people of all gender identities and you know, we want men to watch the show. We want non-conforming people to watch the show, like, and it's very much a generational thing too. Like, I feel like we're living at a time now where people are less afraid to say, you know what, this isn't making me happy. I want to do something that makes me happy and fulfills me. It's not just about making money or having a job. It's about feeding your soul, and it's about you know, fulfilling you personally.
that's about what being a millennial is, from what I understand.
Yeah. I'm on like the cusp of millennial. I'm like on the old side of millennial.
Well, one of the good things, one of the good things, I'm highly critical of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of problems to it, but one of the great things about it was that it really pulled back the curtain on a lot of people's lives, and it really showed that like a lot of people that you consider to be normal, God-fearing, loving people are into kinky stuff and are interested in kinky stuff, and it's not this like deviant group. That it's just like your neighbors or your church members, and that was the one good thing that I took away from that whole phenomenon. You know, it really kind of pushed it more towards the mainstream.
Yeah. And that's you know, what we hope, you know, because it's a great conversation starter. Like people, you know, harsh on 50 Shades of Grey with reason. Yeah. But it does start a lot of conversations, and it you know, what we hope to do with our show is kind of what that series gets wrong. We want to kind of, you know, because really 50 Shades of Grey, it's about a rich dude who, like, you know, it's all of this very like clinical, very like crisp white shirts and like lots of money and like dungeon houses, like it's crazy.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. Listen, you want to spend some money on but this is more like, our show is geared more toward the average person. It's more like your everyday.
Yeah, I cannot wait to put this up and put more links about your project and where people can watch your pilot and things like that. Definitely. And are you guys doing any like Kickstarters or fundraising or anything like that?
We just did one.
Okay.
But we actually are looking for sponsors right now. That's primarily we're looking for people to pay for this pilot. So companies and stuff like that, like willing to put a good chunk of change.
Or product. Or
Yeah.
location. I mean, there's a ton of ways that you can be
That
sponsored.
people can help.
Bad Dragon.
Yeah.
We're gonna reach out to them. I saw a corset maker upstairs that I was like, oh, we should probably circle back around to. I'm like, we're gonna need lots of corsets.
That'd be great.
So and anything that is contributed is tax deductible because we are fiscally sponsored by a 501c3 company.
Yes. So we're technically a nonprofit. So
technically
you're
a
donating to
nonprofit.
charity, and you can write that off on your taxes. So it's great.
Awesome. Well, where can we find more information?
Sure. The website is igseries.com.
Okay.
And then Facebook is Incredible Girl Series. And then Twitter is IG_series.
Great.
That's Facebook, and Twitter, and Instagram.
And Instagram.
It's both IG_series.
Yeah.
And where can we find you? Are you online as well?
Never.
Never. The dark web.
She's on the
deep web.
I'm under Banana Holder. No. Celia Aurora 7 on Twitter.
Great.
Celia Aurora Blas on Facebook.
Awesome.
And all of mine is Twitter and Instagram is @Teresa Jusino, and there's no H in Teresa. It's Teresa. So Teresa Jusino. And I'm sure you'll link to this stuff, right? Yeah. And my Facebook is Teresa Jusino Experience, which is also the name of my blog. And TeresaJusino.com is my website.
Awesome.
Oh, Instagram is Celia Aurora 7 too.
Hey.
We're everywhere. Just
Everywhere.
Google search. We're everywhere.
Awesome, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you guys get a chance to nerd out and walk around and buy some corsets.
Harry Potter it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's like we're gonna, you know, take some of these costumes and take them into the bedroom, you know. It's like today we're role-playing Harry Potter.
Listen. That's not a bad idea.
Right?
I am all about witches and warlocks.
Yep. Do it.
Awesome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.